Oh, hello there.
Oh, hello.
Yeah.
Hello, Gabna.
It's a little bit how's your father there, fancy a butcher's, chop, going around a bit of it. Tossers, wankers, sod off. Bit of posh spice in your coffee, you like it? Eh? You like a bit of that, eh? If you want to be my lover, eh? Gotta get with friends. Is that what you
Oh my god.
The show just keeps opening weirder and weirder every week. People are like, I don't know what that is. This the right podcast? I wanted to hear about Disney Plus. What's going on with this? Are they the guys? I don't know. Well, because folks, we're having fun. So, welcome once again to another thrilling episode of Fandom Initiative. On a fall day, it is time for long sleeves, hoodies, Scullies, as my partner here is rocking the Scullies and the coiffed beard, sir. Yes, yes. It is time to give praise to the beard.
Shake my skull cap.
That's it. Shake that money maker. Whatever we got to do to get these here views and listens, downloads. Welcome. We are going to have a action-packed episode today. We're going to be doing some John Woo stuff, possibly some bullet time. It's going to be really, really cool.
Maybe doves. Some doves.
Yeah, yeah. You knew that was coming next, man. You got the only thing that's more thrilling is and a nice slow turnaround with a trench coat on, so you can see every ripple of the wind in the coats.
Exactly.
I'm going to be rolling a lot of R's today, folks. A lot of R's. Let's get these introductions out of the way so we can go in here and have some more fun. The man across from me with the Disney Plus Scully or Beanie. It's the same thing, right? Scully,
same
Beanie,
same thing, right?
Yeah, same. This is the cinema CEO. He is the cinema god. This is Michael Williams.
What is up, y'all? Happy D Plus Day past to everyone.
Michael Williams of the Blue Blood New Hampshire Williams, with the tight clenched jaw when they talk. Indubitably good, sir. You have a 401k. Oh, how cute! Yes. We came in on the Mayflower Junior, smaller ship.
Yeah.
Slightly smaller ship, sir. Yes. His middle name is Thurgood. Michael Thurgood. Wingate is his name. When you have names like Wingate, you'd be like, oh, this dude was like, he's related to a Rockefeller or something.
Yeah, exactly.
He is old money. Like, money so old it's racist. Like, the bills are racist money. Racist bootlegger money.
Exactly.
Whatever. And myself, I am the hungriest man in the room. You can take that however you like. I am the Hungry Bleak. Hashtag the Dark Star. Hashtag Nevermore. I am Anthony Pomares. And once again, this is the Fandom Initiative. Welcome to the fandom. You're welcome. So, a lot's been going on. This was a really nice week. First off, how are you doing, brother? How are you feeling?
I am good, brother. I am very good. Thank you.
How was your beard? How was your beard?
Beard's there. Beard's there.
Now, here's a really funny question because look at the order that I asked these questions. How's Lady Mina?
Lady Mina's good.
I know I'm gonna get my ass beat for that one too. I got a whole list of reasons why she's just gonna yoke me up.
Yoke.
Lumpity lump over the hills of snow. Lumpity lump.
Catch them hands.
That's it. She'd be like cracking knuckles, like, I think it was time with this. I'd be like, what? Well, that's wonderful. How was your week been?
Good. Yeah, it ended very well with some of these announcements at the end of the week.
Brother, these announcements. Let's get it. Well, my week was a
how
week.
Was your week? Yes, how was your week, bro?
My week was a week. That's what we'll consider that to be.
Week.
Yeah, it was just
not to be confused with the week.
Yes, it was not the week. V week will be hopefully in 2022 in the beginning of October. I'm already looking towards New York Comic-Con 2022. I know that sounds weird, but I'm trying to get there now. Pleasant week, ate well, didn't drink enough water, drank a lot of tea. There is a shortage of apparently I can't get it at my grocery store, so after the show I'm going to go to 7-Eleven. I think it's like $1 more, but hell, I haven't seen it in like a month or so. The almond creamer that I use for my tea and such, I cannot find it at my grocery store, which which makes sense. You know what I mean?
Sounds about right.
Yeah, it sounds about right. But they have it in stock continuously at the 7-Eleven. So I'm going to go over there and get a nice big old bottle of it. Good. You know, I'm a cheese for the camera. Got this bottle, bro. Y'all can pop all these bottles of Cristal or whatever the hell else y'all drinking. I'm popping bottles of almond creamer. We built different. We built different, God. Built different. Money. You know what I'm saying? We built mad different, son. You know what I'm saying?
What's up with you, my guy?
Almond creamer. Oh, that's like gold around these parts, man. Everybody got a bottle of yak. Everybody got that purple bag from the Crown Raw.
Exactly.
That Crown Raw. Can't nobody find that. But that almond creamer, yo, because you know your stomach be acting up. So it's a weird segue.
Yeah.
But my stomach was not acting up, but I was getting a lot of goosebumps during the Disney Plus Day announcements. I watched the video on Disney Plus when I got home yesterday from work. There were two of them. There was one for the MCU stuff. Then there was one for the Pixar.
Yep.
I think we all know which one people were really jumping to. Was the MCU one for the extended series and stuff like that. They did a past, present, and future, which was really well done.
Yes.
Which you can obviously expect. And they showed us a lot of what I had to make sure. I was like, why are they showing all this old? I was like, is this the right video? Like, I really thought I had messed up, watched the wrong thing. I was like, maybe they didn't uploaded the wrong one. I don't know what happened. But they were just giving us a recap of the past Disney Plus series that we've had so far. Excuse me. And they did really great segues in between them as well, which were really done. They did a WandaVision. We got the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, aka Captain America, and the Winter Soldier, aka Sammy and Bucky about to do the damn thing. We also got Loki, like what's happened with Loki. Those so far have been the three, and What If.
And What If, yes.
We got that. Then we segue into what's coming.
Yes.
Sir, let me tell you something. I was about to do this show with two shirts on. I was going to wear one for this segment and the one for the next segment.
Okay.
And I was like, I can't bust a Lucy Cole. If you know GH, you know who Lucy Cole is. Don't worry about it. I was like, I can't bust that. But you know which one excited me the most. Because I've been very vocal about it. But first thing I want to say is the production of this was really great. Like I said, the segues were really excellently done with a line from the previous show, and then you see a scene that opens up to the next series. Really loved that. I love how it was seamless, how it has been with the MCU so far, how things have been segued into them wonderfully. Even though if a movie has nothing to do with the next thing, it still will tie in together at some point. You know this. Similar to comics, how the comics will link together, how at the end of a trade or an arc or something like that, there will be a little a panel such will have, which will lead you into the next one, the next story. I really enjoyed that. I love that. I think production sometimes is not looked at as much when things like this happen, and I loved it. And then we got into what we got. We got Hawkeye, which looks really cool. That's going to be November 22nd, I believe.
Yeah, that's in 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks. Yeah. 2 weeks, folks. This is oof. Then we got this is the one that made like the hair on my arm stand up as much as that last scene, that last after credits trailer in Eternals. But we're gonna talk about that, man. We're gonna talk about that a little bit. Isaac. Damn you, Oscar Isaacs, as Moon Knight, and you don't see what you think you're going to see. You see him almost seems like he's cowering. So I don't know. Again, I don't know which personality this is or how they're actually going to be framing this. And then you get a shot of him kind of a play on what we've seen from the Batman. Just
Mhm.
punching the living hell out of somebody.
Mhm.
And I love how they're mirror opposites. I gotta love that. Then we got teasers for She-Hulk.
Yeah.
That looks, and it feels like the way she's speaking to us,
Yep.
she's one of those characters that breaks the fourth wall continuously.
Yes.
Absolutely love that. I'm excited about that. I need to go and rewatch the first 3 episodes and then finish Orphan Black, because for an actress to do so many roles, any actress that does multiple personality roles and does them so well where they are their own characters,
Yeah. That's why I'm
is
super excited about that show.
diabolical. And I want to, and you get a little tease of her in She-Hulk form.
Mm-hmm.
You get like a little shot of the back of her, not the full
Mhm.
thing, and I'm glad.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad she's also wearing the classic like kind of retro outfit that you expect to see.
Mhm.
All right, then we got a shot of, I think the next one was Agatha, the House of Harkness.
Mm-hmm.
IG is just killing it, man. Catherine Hahn. Catherine Hahn has Catherine Hahn is in that Disney money.
Yep.
She's in that Disney family.
Yep.
And that leads a long way, because we're getting more into the supernatural stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Again, later.
Yes.
Later.
Yes.
Later. Awesome. They're going full supernatural and full cosmic.
Mm-hmm.
This is what we have to do. Then the next thing we got was Ms. Marvel.
Miss Marvel, yes.
Yeah. When she, yeah, man, there was just, and those were the series that we got to see. There wasn't any. Oh, but then they said that there are going to be some that are going to be returning.
Yes.
We're going to be getting season 2 of What If.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be getting season 2 of Loki. We're going to be season 2 of what else was there?
There was a big one that I don't think anybody kind of saw coming, especially me.
What's that?
I had heard there were rumors that this was going to happen, but I didn't think we'd get a confirmation this soon.
What's that?
X-Men 97.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But we still haven't gotten anything from it. We don't know what. I'm guessing it's going to be a continuation of the series, the classic Fox series, which is on Disney Plus. If you want to go back and rewatch it, I really expect you to, because it is really well done. And this time now, the gloves are truly off.
Mm-hmm.
We can go darker. No commercial breaks. We don't have to worry about any of that.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have, because the advancement of animation has jumped, so we're going to be getting even better animation. Unfortunately, we're not going to be getting the actor that played Cyclops, unless he was working on some of this. We honestly don't know his involvement, but hearing him say previously on X-Men every week was one of those crowning achievements of the show. You loved it. But unfortunately, he passed a few months ago, I want to say, correct?
Yeah, I think so.
A few months ago, yeah. We won't be getting him in here, but again, we don't know if he possibly was doing some work before that. We honestly don't know. We don't know who's going to be coming back for this or whatever, or they're going to be all new voices. But this is going to be a return to the classic series. We're also going to be getting Spider-Man freshman year.
Yes.
This is going to be, there was a comic recently that was him in his younger years, so this is going to be kind of based on that, I want to say. Yeah, there was a lot of great stuff that was put out there, man.
We're also getting Echo, which is crazy
Echo.
that they even put that slide up there, because we haven't really seen her yet in Hawkeye, which is where she makes the appearance, or he or she makes the appearance. She.
Echo is one of just the, I think her introduction was in Daredevil. She was hired by Kingpin to take out Daredevil. Echo is deaf, but she has muscle memory. Anything that she sees, she can copy, which includes fighting techniques. Similar to Taskmaster, but I don't think as augmented, like superhuman, I guess the way to say it. But still, and she has worn the Ronin suit, which is caked in blood. From Barton just going, yeah, you know what? I miss my family, so let me just go kill everybody. Yeah, she has worn that suit. I think she wore it after Barton, I want to say.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was after Barton. As far as the comics, not in the MCU. We don't know if she will because we saw Kate Bishop in it.
Yes.
But we did see some scenes with someone in it, but we didn't know if it was Kate Bishop.
Mm-hmm.
That could have very well been Echo.
Yep.
Echo, I believe, is also indigenous, I want to say.
Okay.
So all around right there, I'm extremely excited by that.
Yep. We're getting an I Am Groot animated series.
Yeah. Well, that was announced a while ago, wasn't it?
I think so. Yeah.
But it just hasn't been. We just haven't heard anything about it in quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
What else was there?
Marvel Zombies.
Yes. Right. Which is a play on the What If. And also a series of arcs that has happened over the last few years. I think there's like 4, maybe 4, maybe 5. I don't know. Yeah. I haven't read them. I'll be honest with you. I just haven't read them.
They put up the Ironheart still.
Yes, Ironheart is going to be. Yeah, because there's a lot of stuff that they said they were going to do. That's probably going to be like again 2022, 2023 later on. We're not the stuff that we're getting. Most recently is stuff that we saw the teasers for.
Yeah,
those are things that have been in production that are there. Like I said, Hawkeye, which is going to deal with Barton and Bishop, is going to be November 22nd. I'm excited to see that. One of my favorite T-shirts is my Hawkeye T-shirt, black and purple. Obviously, those are my colors. Love it. I want to see this. I want to see. This is probably going to be like another one. That's maybe like what? Probably maybe 8 episodes.
Yeah, probably
about that. 8 episodes. I'm excited to see Barton back again. I want to see what he's doing with his family, how they're dealing with everything post blip. I want to see how they work the Hawkeye comic in, which I didn't really read a lot of. That was, I want to say, Chip Zdarsky. No. Was it Rick Remender? Might be Zdarsky. Hawkeye. My Life Was a Living Weapon, I think it was, or I Am a Living. I can't remember what it is. I'll be honest with you. And it was just him being a regular guy getting beat up. I feel like every comic he was getting beat up. So I said that I'm so excited about this, dude. I'm gonna be real with you. Yes.
Yeah. For sure.
Give me the Archers. Give me the Archers, man. What are you most excited about as far as things that we saw teasers for, like that we know that are in production or post production, what have you? What are you most excited for?
I'm excited for all of it, but I would probably say one of the things that I'm really like, I have really high expectations for, and I'm just kind of trying to bring my unreasonable expectation down for it a bit, is She-Hulk. And that's only because I want people to see how good Tatiana Maslany is. Like, she is really, really good.
Yeah.
And I was over the moon when they finally officially said that she was taking this role, because she denied it hard. She played coy for a long time when it kind of leaked that she was going to be it, and she was like, "Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. I haven't spoken to them," and all this other stuff. And then when she finally was allowed to kind of let it out and be honest about it,
yes,
she is criminally underrated as an actress. Like, I don't care what anybody says. Like, if you watch Orphan Black, that might be one of the greatest achievements in television by somebody who is as young as she is, right? Because it's kind of like, and I've always said, Orphan Black is a show where if one of the characters that she's playing isn't true, the whole show falls flat on its face. You know what I mean? And
because it all hinges on her.
Exactly.
And not just her, but multiple hers.
Exactly. And for her to be able to kind of pull that off for as long as she pulled it off for 5 seasons, amazing. Like, just amazing. And she's got hardware to prove it. She's got an Emmy for it. as a lead in a drama series. So, I think she's going to kill it as Jessica Walters. I'm really excited to see her interaction with Ruffalo because we kind of got a little bit of that in that teaser.
Yeah,
like their interaction amongst each other, and that I love that ending part of it where she breaks the fourth wall with that like tribute to like Bill Bixby's Hulk.
that was awesome. That was
it's like
seeing Ruffalo do it, standing
man.
there like with the glasses. He's standing there like I was like,
man.
yeah.
I'm
But
like,
that's it.
Yeah, I'm like,
That's the type of humor that we're going to be getting. That's the type of thing that we're going to be getting from it. So that just knowing that is awesome because she does it continuously. And if Ruffalo is a part of it, because he can be funny.
Yeah,
like, he can be very funny. Like he's a very well-rounded actor.
Yeah.
And I love seeing more of him on this space because we don't get a lot of him because he hasn't had his own movie.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't had his own thing where it's been him.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the closest that we're going to get. But I love it because it's going to be a weekly thing that we're going to get, and we're going to get more Ruffalo. And I'm glad that he's going to be getting his spotlight as well in this.
Yeah.
As like kind of a second, as like probably her like straight man with all the hijinks that she gets into because her Hulk is different from his Hulk. Well, his Hulk is going to be Professor Hulk now. We're also going to find out about why, as far as like where the timetable is, why he's able to change or possibly why he can change, what's going on with that. Because we remember at the end of what movie was it? Shang-Chi?
Yes.
We saw in human form again. Yeah, he was in human form. The arm's still in the sling. But I think it says it's going to be a permanent thing. But again, that could change.
Yeah.
Truthfully.
For sure.
Because we remember he was supposed to be able to blend all of them. But when he blends all of them, is he still able to just go back and forth and change? Don't know. So hopefully we're going to find that out as well, and we get more into the Hulk and the mythos behind both of them. If you were a fan of the animated series on UPN years ago, when they did bring in She-Hulk, I think that was a really cool thing to do because we hadn't gotten her character like that before. If you're a fan of that, I think they're going to be making nods to that as well. I mean, you honestly have to. And I think we're going to have a lot of fun with this series, truthfully. That's going to be, I think, the funny... I don't want to say sitcom-y, but there's going to be humor in there. I think that and Agatha, because Catherine Hahn, she's doing great dramatically, but you got to give her some of that comedy, that kind of dark comedy that she did in WandaVision. Because how many times were people singing that song and we're playing that song all long, and she's sitting there and I kill Sparky too, a whole thing with the dog. It's just this is gonna be awesome.
And the other one that I'm also kind of super excited for too, in some ways, is Miss Marvel, and I'll say this because I think the smartest thing that Disney did here in Marvel is to kind of cast an unknown to play her, right? Because in some ways, I feel like that almost makes the show even more. I don't know how to.
It makes it more authentic because the character is not known.
Yes,
the character is a fan of Captain Marvel.
Yes.
Yes,
and potentially this movie is going to change Iman Vellani's life. Like literally, it's going to change her life.
It already has. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm
yes.
going to be honest. It already has, because you're getting this series. Then when we get the movie, this is going to open up so many doors for her. And because we talk about how MCU movies will put a spotlight on you, whether you're an up and comer, whether you're someone who has been in the game for a while, but you kind of took a break or laid back or what have you. Then you come back and it heats you up so quickly. That's the type of spotlight that you get. So I'm excited for her.
Yeah, absolutely.
Most of all, I'm excited for the character, because the character's so beloved. And I'm excited for every brown skinned Muslim girl, whether you live in Jersey City or not, who is going to say, that's me. That's me. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be really good. Well, I mean, the little that they've shown us so far looks really good. So I'm really excited about that too.
Yeah, it just I there's so much to be excited about for that because it's something new, it's something fresh. It's a character that they were talking about as far as when they wanted to link things. They wanted to link this to the movies and to the MCU, and now we're getting other things there. But the focus was still there on Ms. Marvel, and I mean, Kamala Khan is such a this is how much they cared about her and how much she means. She is, I mean, it's an ensemble game, but she is the lead in Marvel's Avengers, that game. Now, regardless of what you think, and oh, the game was this, was that, what have you, they still put her in the lead. That game, your lead is a young, brown skinned Muslim girl from Jersey. What other game can you say has done that? Don't worry, I'll wait. And it's not going to be a long wait because you can't say.
Exactly.
So that's and playing her, you feel the exuberance. How the series looks like it's starting out looks like how the game starts out. That's her being a fan. And are we going to get Inhumans? Is she going to be the M word?
Yeah.
Is it going to be something different? We don't know. And I'm not theorizing. I don't care. I'm excited to see what they do. And if they do decide to go the Inhuman route and fix, quote unquote, fix the way that they were supposed to go, or that they were trying to go when they were doing Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and such like that. I don't know. Because that's been a while since a Terrigen Mist was released. But again, it's been said that possibly changed into an alternate universe. But we have all these different timelines as well, so we don't know. Let's not theorize too much. Let's just go in and enjoy the damn thing, honestly.
It's true.
You know,
it's true.
A lot of stuff is going to be coming down. Me, like I said, I'm excited by it all, but Moon Knight.
Yeah.
Oscar Isaacs. Baby, what are you doing, baby? What you doing punching that man so hard, baby? What you doing, baby? What is he doing, baby? What is he doing?
Yeah.
Seeing him in his vestments. If you know, and this is Ms. Marvel, who is becoming more of a bigger character. Moon Knight has always been like an undercurrent character, always been kind of a joke to certain people, even to some of his teammates. I would love to see the interaction between Hawkeye and Moon Knight, because they've always had this thing. And he always called him Mooney. And he was like, wait a minute, you fight crime at night. Yeah, and you were all white? Like, that doesn't make any sense. He's like, no, I want people to see me. Because the white, that his whole suit are his vestments. Because he is the fist of Khonshu, who is the Egyptian god of, I'm trying to remember, of the moon, I think. There's a lot of backstory with this character. There's a new series actually started. It's 3 or 4 issues in. It's beautifully done. Go check it out, or go and check out some of his old stuff. When Moon Knight first came into the MCU, he was hunting Werewolf by Night. And I read oh my God, I think I read 2 of the tomes, the big thick compendiums, because I wanted to know more about Moon Knight. This was years ago. I don't have them anymore, unfortunately. And the character's always been so interesting to me. And being just a mirror opposite of someone in Gotham. It's just beautiful that the guy's like, no, I want them to see me coming. I want them to know. And because we're seeing Moon Knight, who has gone after supernatural characters and whose abilities were always said to be triggered by the moon, like he was at his strongest during the moon. This could also link to Werewolf by Night, which the newest Werewolf by Night is Indigenous First Nations. But this can also link to another supernatural character. We'll talk about that in a minute. You can tell I'm excited about who I think is there. I don't know. But Disney Plus, this is great. I'm loving these events that they're having, like when they had the DC Fandom, when Skybound Expo, and now Disney Plus. I'm loving these companies doing these little events, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's on their streaming service. Image, you need something. seriously, or put it on Amazon since you're already working with Amazon as far as that. But you need something seriously. YouTube is great, but I think having your own type of service or having something on the service is going to be even better for you. You know what? Call me, talk to me. I will help you out. Seriously, you know, I'm saying. But these like events are really cool to me. I'm really enjoying them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Outside of having cons and the fact it's virtual.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think ultimately it is a way to reward. It's a way to reward, obviously, the subscribers to Disney Plus, right? Like,
oh yeah,
thanks for hanging with us. This is what we have coming down the pike to keep you interested and keep you giving us your money, right?
exactly.
But it's also sort of a marketing tool to reach the people who may have been on the fence for the last 2 years about Disney Plus as a service.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, I mean, I was impressed by all of the announcements they made. I mean, the Marvel thing I watched.
Right.
I also watched the Pixar thing because I'm kind of interested in how Pixar is kind of evolving as a company, right? Like this was a company that was basically founded to push animation forward. They've done that. This is a company that has literally owned the best animated feature category at the Oscars since its inception. They've done that. I was always interested in whether, because of how they make their movies, would it allow them to do shorter form programming in like abundance, right? Because it's hard. Like the stuff that they do is like this stuff is planned years in advance. And it takes them like years to get it done. So I thought the Pixar presentation was good too, because they have some things in the pipeline that take advantage of, you know, some of their more popular IP things like Cars and they also have, you know, some things that they've been working on with some, like they have this program where they bring in like future artists that they kind of work with, and they put out content too with them that are like shorts. So that was really interesting. And then you also have, you know, the Star Wars component.
Yeah.
You know, that they didn't give a lot about the Star Wars component this time around, but they did give one big thing, and the one big thing that they're working on is the Obi-Wan Kenobi series.
Yes.
Which
people have wanted.
Yeah, which people have been dying for. They've been dying to get Ewan McGregor back into that role. And what they showed of it, I'm hyped for, because I think it's a good idea of what they're trying to do with it. And they're bringing back Hayden Christensen.
Yes.
In full Darth Vader garb for the entire show. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes too, because obviously The Mandalorian is the big hit, and I think the second big hit that's coming is going to be that Book of Boba Fett show at the end of the year. I think that show is going to hit in a way that I don't think people even know yet. You know what I mean? Because people like Boba Fett. They've been wanting, some type of Boba Fett content. I know years ago they were talking about doing like an actual theatrical film for it. I think a series works.
Yeah, this is better. This is even much better. Because you see how well it worked for The Mandalorian. You're getting more in depth. You're getting more story. You're able to bring in, you know, all these, you know, these guest actors. It was like, and we talked about it was like an 80s show. Yeah. Where you would have like these, like, you know, special guests every week. Yeah. You know, when you got Katie Sackhoff, when you got Sasha Banks, right there, you got a big tie into WWE. Bring them in. Yeah. When you got Timothy Oliphant, who played a gunslinger, such a huge shock. Who saw that coming? which I am rewatching Justified.
Yeah.
We watch that like every weekend. I'm watching that like probably 4 or 5 episodes. I'm up to like the middle of season 4. But when you're doing that, it's great, and you're harkening back to a time when it was like, when it was weekly TV, when it was every week. It wasn't just all binge.
Yes,
which is a nice difference.
Yeah, and that's what I love about it, right? Like, I love that they are. I mean, I feel like they're not the only studio that kind of gets that done, but it's just how they do it. It's like there are people who you think you would, in your mind, when you sit back and you say, okay, there's no way they're going to be able to get this person, right? Like, and I say it all the time. Like, even when they revealed Julia Louis-Dreyfus in Falcon and Winter Soldier, I was like, Julia Louis-Dreyfus. I'm like, this is huge. Like, this is somebody who doesn't have to do this show. She literally does not have to do this show at all.
Shouldn't have to do anything. Shouldn't have to do anything. I mean, the last thing she's on was Veep, which was incredible.
Yeah.
And
then for her to just kind of come up and play Valentina almost the way you would want her to play it, right? Like, in a flippant way towards the people she's talking to, but you know that she knows everything that's going on in the room.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But she plays that wonderfully. She's played it before. She's played both sides. She's played someone when she was in Veep, who the vice president, who literally had no idea what was going on, and who was always in the middle of something, who was like, but then you have someone who was like Elaine,
right,
who knew, but sometimes had to just act like she didn't know because she was surrounded by these 3 goofballs.
Exactly.
And then you have someone in the center, old Christine, in the New Adventures of Old Christine, where she was kind of in the center of that, and that was so she plays that so well. She plays it as if she's giving Bruce Campbell.
yes.
She's coming in and reading the line. She's phoning it in, but in the best way possible.
Yes.
Where it's like, I don't know.
I agree.
Yeah, whatever. And Bruce Campbell is like the master of doing that.
Yeah.
So true. To do it in such a way, you're like,
it's true.
That's to me, that's a compliment.
Right. And I love that you say that it harkens back to like old TV, and not just that we're getting the 1 episode a week thing, but it's also sort of like it's a time in television where people wanted to be on the hot show all the time. If you were an actor, you wanted to be on the most popular show in conversation with people. And somehow Disney has figured out a way to kind of make that work, not only on their streaming services, but also in their movies. Like, they do the same thing in their movies. Like, it's crazy to me.
But it's not that crazy now because it's become an establishment.
Yeah.
So it's at one time it was like, we're not sure, what have you, but now to the point where, again, it's over 10 years. It's 22 plus movies. So it's not just a flippant thing. It's an establishment. It's there. It's these movies aren't going anywhere for the next, let's say, 10 years. After 10 years, maybe they'll stop or what have you. You know what I mean? We don't know. But for this period of time, we're going to be getting that. So seeing actors, who the first was Robert Downey Jr. And people were like, whatever. And it became ridiculous. It heated him up. He's nuclear.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And when you get these people who you didn't think were going to come or you weren't expecting, you go and you go, and then you go, no, actually that makes sense. Yeah, these movies are it. If you are part of MCU, if you're part of Disney, you're going to be working for the next 3-4 years, let's say, and there.
I love that you use that term nuclear for Robert Downey Jr. He's so nuclear that he has been cast in a Christopher Nolan film.
It's not another Dr. Dolittle movie.
No, but ironically, it's about nuclear. Finding nuclear, the birth of nuclear power in the United States. It's a story about Oppenheimer.
Oh, that's But you know what? I like the fact of switching gears like that and going with something. Yeah, I'll totally do that, and I love that. I love seeing someone's career after having a lot of trouble reheat like that. So when you are in these movies, you know that you're going to be in the center of this incredible universe.
Yeah.
You know you're going to be getting ridiculous money.
Yeah.
And you know you're going to be, as long as you don't mess up and do something dumb, you're going to be working for the next 3-4 years.
Yeah,
you might give it might be a 30-second spot here. It might be one line here off camera. We're going to talk about that in a minute. We're going to, everywhere. So you're going to be getting these different things. And then you're going to have your role in whatever movie or series, that comes down. So it's a smart investment move. For the next 5 years, okay, I can chill, I can do. And if somebody asks you, all you have to do is not talk about it, show up on time, do your lines, get in, do whatever they ask you to do, and don't say anything dumb.
Yeah, exactly. And
that's all you got to do.
Yeah, and Disney's not dumb either, right? Like they know that some of these actors, and I would imagine, and I'm just being off the cuff because I don't know anything about what goes on at Marvel Studios. But I feel like they have this like war room, right, of projects that they have coming up on one part of the board. And then on the other part of the board, they have this wish list of actors that they want to work with, right? And they've also kind of done the research on these actors and like figured out which ones have kids who would want to see them in these roles, right? Because you hear this all the time with some of these actors that they cast. Like, Kate Blanchett herself even said it when she was promoting Thor Ragnarok. Like, her kids wanted to see her play this role. And that was part of the reason why she took it. You know what I mean? Like, they're not dumb. Like, they know. They know who they want. They know in some ways how to get those people and how to convince those people that, hey, we're not going to make you look stupid here. You know what I mean? We're going to make you look really, really good. Your kids are going to love you in this film. And it's just like, it's amazing. This has just been an amazing ride, Antonio. It really has.
So we'll see what comes up in the next, next week. Next week or the week after. No, it's going to be the beginning of
what?
The 22nd. That's like what? That's a Wednesday, correct?
Yeah, that's Thanksgiving week. It'll premiere.
Yeah. So we'll start from there and we'll see what's going on. But you know what? Go back and rewatch the series that have already come up. I mean, I'm sure there will be links here and there between things. But it'll just be fun, and it's going to be, just something cool to go back and watch when we have like 2 or 3 seasons of a show, and you'll be able to go back and watch it. You can watch it by itself alone, or you can watch it in conjunction with other series and such like that. That's a nice thing about it too, is you can do just one and done, or you can link them however you want to do it, because there are the little subtle links between them, like breadcrumbs, obviously, because they're all part of the MCU universe.
Yeah.
So the next thing we're going to be talking about, sir, this one was a difference from what we have gotten, and I can understand both sides. We're going to be doing Eternals review. Okay, so Eternals is the latest offering from the MCU. This was only in theaters. It's not on Disney Plus yet, although Shang-Chi and what is that movie? Jungle Cruise are on Disney Plus. So if you want, go and watch Shang-Chi. Is incredible. It's so beautifully done. And they actually have it where on Disney Plus you can actually get an IMAX experience when you watch it. So someone will actually come into your theater and like your home and actually yell into your ear the lines that are happening. That's the IMAX. They'll actually come to hold speakers up against your head. They'll kick your chair back, and they'll actually
if only it were that simple.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure there's somebody that you can hire for that. Give them $30. They'll come to your house and do it.
Task Rabbit.
I'm saying. And this is the first movie to do that, I believe, for Disney Plus. I actually want to watch it and see how it feels, like see if it's compatible with what I got going on. I don't know. Actually,
it's not the only movie that has IMAX enhancements. I think about 8 of them in the MCU that are up there now have enhanced IMAX versions. So,
which is a nice little thing. Again, if you weren't able to go into the theaters or for whatever reasons, you can get it because Shang-Chi wasn't available on Disney Plus either. That was strictly theatrical. So Eternals. This is Marvel going full cosmic. Eternals is basically a story of these beings who have been sent to Earth to protect us from deviants. And they have been told by the Celestials. This is our first really big look at the Celestials, who are like space gods, for lack of a better term. Yes. And they've been sent to the planet to protect us from the deviants, but not anything else. They were not able to get into any wars. They were not able to stop us from any genocides or slavery or anything like that. Any conflicts that we had with each other in humanity, they could not
interfere.
Interfere with it all. So they kind of almost had like a Watcher thing going with that one. And the deviants, they thought they had killed the deviants, but the deviants returned. And now the Eternals are getting the band back together to stop the deviants from destroying the planet. Now, first off, we're going to say heavy spoilers. Heavy on spoilers. Heavy. Okay. I am talking like how much syrup I put on my waffles. Heavy. Heavy. I'm talking about how much lemon pepper I'm putting in my popcorn. Heavy on it, dog. Heavy. All right. And then it turns out that it is all a plot for another celestial to emerge from our planet. Celestials are actually born from worlds that once their population gets to a certain point and is teeming with life, a celestial will be born from that planet. But when that celestial is born, they destroy that planet. They basically rip it apart, and everyone on that planet dies. And the celestials go to each planet to do this, and then they're rebooted. Memories are erased, and then they're sent to another planet to do it. This was a different Marvel movie, and it had to be a different Marvel movie. If you don't like it, that's cool. That's fine. I'm not going to, whatever. You like what you like. But they had to do different storytelling. First off, cast was incredible. Loved it. Beautiful cast. Oh my God. Beautiful cast. Brown skinned people, black people. We got our first sex scene.
Yes.
In a Marvel movie. And I was thinking, I was like, wait, are they gonna is it going that way? Is it going that way? Is it going that way? And it did. We had our first sex scene. We also got, I think, our first person in the MCU to do double duty in Gemma Chan. I think. As far as the MCU.
Yes.
Now, I'm not talking about like Chris Evans, where he's played every year. Like, he's always in a comic movie every few years. Like, I'm not talking about him.
Yes. And
I want to say that's the first person who showed up so far.
MCU proper. Yes.
Yeah, in the MCU. Also, Brian, brother, stole scenes. We get our first, and this is not queer baiting or anything like that. We get our first gay character. And our first like gay couple in the MCU proper. There was no like, going around the bush. They showed them kissing and then being a family. That scene almost brought me to tears seeing them together. I broke that scene down in my head. Faustus is like the engineer, the architect. This man built a safe space for him, his brown husband, and their child.
That's a good point, brother. That's a good point.
But then this white man comes in and says, "Oh, what is this table?" Vibranium, and breaks it. So the white man came in and broke up his safe space. Sure wish this was tea, because I think I just spilled some hotness. I'm just saying. Almond milk eggnog. So well done. We also got a deaf character.
Yes.
And what was the character's name? She was laying waste to my man's face. She was laying waste to Icarus. Those are things that really hit me. Brian Tyree Henry, correct? That's the last name, Henry?
Yes, that's his name.
Yeah. Brian Tyree Henry, I love the fact that he did not become the big muscle guy. He was in his dad bod, Just love it. I loved every part of that. I loved it because not everyone needs to be this muscled up cat. Not there's anything wrong with muscles. If you like your muscles, do your thing. Get in that gym. Eat that protein powder and the shake, and make sure you wipe off the machine when you're done, when you're sweating, whatever. But I love that. I love that fact of that. It's just this movie felt a strong PG because of the sex scene, which was needed. We need to go in that route because the viewers are getting older.
Sure.
But I really enjoyed this. Numerous things I could talk about. I'll after you get done telling your opinion, I want to get to those after credit scenes.
Yeah. I loved Eternals. I want to watch Eternals again because it is such a brave movie to make in the MCU for a number of reasons. I was well on board with seeing this movie when I heard that Chloe Zhao was directing it, and I've seen Chloe Zhao's movies prior to this, and none of them are superhero films. They are all very intimate kind of portraits of people, and how they live and in their lives and things like that. But she has this thing that she does where it's just like her filmmaking is just so beautiful, for lack of a better term, and it almost flawlessly works in Eternals. Like, all the shots that she makes are beautiful, even without. It's almost like she made it easy for them to add CG to this movie. Like, and to make the CG so good that it works within the confines of how she makes movies, because none of the CG in the movie is terrible. If anything, the CG is enhanced by how she shoots things, and it looks amazing. Like, even with the Celestial being born towards the end of the movie, even that scene is amazing. Like, it's just like, listen, and I read, like, I had heard some things before I saw the movie about why people didn't like it, and things that they were kind of leaning towards, especially one reviewer that I trust who, he didn't like the movie, but he made some comparisons between this movie and other movies at another company. And I was like, he can't be serious when he's saying this, right? I'm like, there's no way in the world that he's comparing Eternals to Justice League or comparing it to anything that Warner Brothers has made. And I think what's interesting about Eternals for me is I can see where Chloe Zhao is a fan of Man of Steel, which is one of the movies that I really, really love in the Zack Snyder universe.
They definitely thumb their nose at some
stuff. They do thumb their nose at a lot of stuff.
I was very surprised. I was like, okay, didn't see that coming. All right, cool.
Yeah, but as far as like, what do I want to say here? As far as like the plot and plot points in Eternals do kind of mirror some of the things that happen in Man of Steel from the vantage point of what happens when people are expecting you to be their savior, and you're not sure that's what you really want to do. Right? and it kind of plays out in different ways, right? Like with Gemma Chan's character, Cersei, she's so in love with these people on Earth. She wants to do everything possible to protect them, right?
Even going up against gods.
Yes. And then you have Richard Madden's character, Icarus, who, for all intended purposes, for now, is like the Superman clone in the MCU that we've seen so far.
Right.
And his feeling is that he will not betray what he thinks are his morals and his objective, right? Which is to make sure that the Celestial is born, even if it means everybody on this planet has to die. And it's really kind of brilliant how they've done it, where Ajax and Icarus are in love with each other, but they are on different sides of this journey in this equation. And it just...
You mean Cersei?
No, sir, I'm sorry, Cersei. Yeah, okay. Cersei and
Icarus.
Cersei and Icarus are on different sides of the equation, and it's just so well done. Like it dares to ask questions about, like I said, should we be committing ourselves to saving this planet when we've been told, that this isn't what we're supposed to do? But then it also kind of deals with the thing where you find out that you've been lied to this whole time. You know what I mean? You've been lied to by your handlers, let's say, because that's kind of what the Celestials are to them, and to a certain extent the Deviants, right? Like you sent the Deviants down here, you wanted them to do a certain thing, and then when the Deviants started to evolve, you lost all control of them. You know what I mean?
So they're pawns in this just as much as the Celestials and just as much as humanity.
Exactly. So then you create another pawn who you want to go down and deal with the Deviants who you lost control of. And then you lie to those pawns that you created by wiping their memories so that they don't know that they've basically kind of done something that they shouldn't really be doing. It's almost like you're trying to put this lever in there to make sure that they don't evolve. And it almost never works. Right? Because evolving is going to happen regardless.
But they felt like making them machines would make them not evolve.
Yes.
Which we all know at some point AI will evolve and Skynet.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know what to tell you, folks. I just enjoy it while you can. Before Arnold Schwarzenegger shows up at your door and puts kills you while you're trying to get a glass of milk.
Yeah.
Whatever. The movie was extremely thought-provoking in a lot of ways.
It's a beautiful film. It's beautifully shot. The story is there. And listen, I can't convince people who don't like this movie. Like I understand it, but I don't understand it at the same time. I think that, and I said this years ago when we were in the first saga of MCU films. I said people need to get out of this mindset that everything is going to be the same going forward, and it's going to make you feel the same way going forward beyond this. Like, because it can't. Like, that's why that Infinity Saga is the way that it is. Like, I don't want the same Infinity Saga in this part now. Like, we've dealt with that. You know what I mean? And now I like where we're going with this, where we're dealing with the ramifications of the things that have happened in that last story. All the things that we didn't care about the last time, right? All we cared about in the last thing was let's make sure Thanos doesn't kill everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Let's make sure that the Avengers are victorious. We don't care how they do it, as long as they get it done. and that's it. But now Marvel Studios is treating everyone like, okay, we gave you the high class meal. Now you got to deal with the ramifications when you go to the doctor and you got high blood pressure. You know what I mean? Now you got to deal with everything that you got from that last high class meal you got. And the Eternals they create a lot of questions. I mean, this movie creates a ton of questions. Like, there's also this idea in Eternals that that Thanos knew. They play with this idea that Thanos knew that there was going to be an emergence that was going to happen. So did he hatch the plan that he hatched to intentionally delay the emergence?
See, that's the thing. Everybody thinks Thanos was, and his way of doing it wasn't the best, but it was unbiased, and he was like, and it's across the board, half the universe across the board.
Right.
It was across the board,
and I love how they play with that idea because I want to know how many of those people who have a real problem with this movie know that Thanos is an Eternal, because he is an Eternal. He's an Eternal, and he's also a deviant because he has a deviant gene. So he's both.
He's a Titan,
but has both strands of DNA in him. So, I mean, and I've heard from friends of mine who were like, "Oh, well, why do I want to go see a movie about a team that didn't do anything? That didn't do anything when Thanos was here?" All I can say to those people, and this is all that I've ever said to those people, is like, Marvel has a method to their madness when they release movies like this. Like, there's a reason why Eternals is being released right here. There is a reason. You may not know the reason right now. We may not know the full reason right now, but they know, and they want you to start challenging your thinking about the things that you've seen prior to this. You know what I mean?
But you have to remember that some people aren't into that, and it's not a good or a bad thing. It's just some people just aren't into that. They've been conditioned for over 10 years, over 20-something movies, punch something hard enough, and you'll win. That's what they've been conditioned to. So when you keep giving someone that, then you change it, and you go, okay, well, we want to give you something else. We want to evolve the story around. Some people aren't going to be hip to it. Some people are. That's just the way things are. That's how it's always been. I mean, you look at Superman. Superman's always ppunch it hard enough and it'll get, but people don't really know about the fact that he has, he's can be this brilliant scientist. He's actually a really smart guy. It's not just about him punching something or going every time he gets hit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So it's you're gonna have people who aren't like that, and they're gonna have movies, and there will be movies where people will be punching things very hard, kicking things, what have you. There will be movies for that, and people will jump into those movies. That's cool. That's fine. They're gonna miss Eternals. That's cool. That's fine. They're not in for the whole story. It's almost like when you're reading a comic, and it's a whole event, and you only want to read this particular series and not this other series that is like a tie-in or what have you. You're missing a bit of the story, but you don't care because you're getting this part, and that's cool, man. I don't bother with. That's like seeing people online, everything going out, and I'm like, okay, cool. Like I don't get into that. If you enjoyed it, I hope you enjoy it again when you watch it again. If you go with the Blu-ray or if you watch it on Disney Plus, however you enjoy it, I hope that you got out of it whatever you like, whatever. If you didn't enjoy it, next movie, I hope you enjoy more, or maybe go back and watch something else that you enjoyed more. Maybe one of the new Disney Plus series will be more to your taste, because we have to account for people's taste too. Some people don't like certain things. That's cool. See, folks, I'm not that dude who's gonna be like, I'm unbiased. I don't because I will slam Marvel for something as quickly as I will slam WB or that damn frog or image or whoever. If you do something stupid, I'm gonna come out and say something about it.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And if you like something, cool, bet. Here for it. If you don't like it, I hope the next thing that you enjoy more.
Yeah, and I mean, I know I went the long way around the bush to say that I really like the Eternals. I do. I can see the influences of her like of Man of Steel as a very different superhero movie in Eternals, and I like the questions that Eternals is posing to people who are in this journey for the journey and for what ramifications those things have on things going forward, and also what questions they kind of create for things that we've already seen, because there was something also in that towards the end with the bracelets and the Unimind to me that made me think of, did they create the 10 rings that Shang-Chi has?
It looked similar,
yeah.
But they even talked about in a Shang-Chi how like this isn't anything that I've seen before. This isn't this. This isn't this. Where'd it come from? So quite possibly it could have been something that Faustus did create at some point in time, because they've been there for, what is it, 7,000 years? I think they said. You know, and I'm trying to remember how long the rings have been there, but the rings have been there probably for that long. You know what I mean? So yeah, it is totally a possible thing. Everything in some way is linked somehow. So maybe we'll find out at the precipice of this story, whatever this whole saga is getting to.
Yeah.
There will be a point when Faustus might make a nod and go, "Oh, you found my rings."
Yeah.
Hey, but wait, what? Like something like that. There's always like an offhanded comment like that's made, and then maybe you'll find out later that there's more of a story to it. You know, and that can lead to, you know, it'll be an offhanded comment during a battle, and then it can lead to Shang-Chi too, and him figuring out and saying, well, he said the bracelets, you know, the rings come from this. So what is this? What is that? That could be something there. It could be something from a Celestial's body.
Yeah.
It could be something like we honestly don't know. So that's going to be more things that we'll find out towards the end of this saga entry in the MCU. I don't know how you want to describe it.
Yeah. And I mean, and how great is that scene with Faustus at Hiroshima?
Yeah.
When he realizes that, you know,
he gave too much.
Yeah.
He advances too much.
Yeah.
But the fact that they go through key scenes like that and they talk about it, and him being that center point, he, like I said, scenes he were in, he killed it. He completely killed it. You know, people talk about, you know, when they talk about people from Atlanta, not the actual Atlanta, but the TV show, they don't really talk about him very much. Everything goes towards Zazie or Donald or Lakeith. Do not sleep on, dude. He made scenes work. I was waiting for him and Kamal to pop up, because I thought they were going to be the couple. I thought they were going to be, because of the way it looked at certain.
Too.
I thought they were going to be the couple, which I was so for. But to not, but still to make him in this couple with a human. So we know so far he could end up being something completely different. We don't know. He could end up being X Gene might be in there. We don't know. We honestly don't know.
It's true.
We don't know. You know what I mean? Yeah, but even that, he really did tear those scenes up, and he's been slowly, quietly doing that work and putting it in. And that's not a slight to Zazie or Lakeith. Donald, I have issues with because of certain things that he does and says, so I'm not even going to talk about whatever. But don't sleep on this dude. And he gave that performance when he talked about his family, and he has this incredible, beautiful brown family, and he is a black man. He's a father, and he made a safe space for his family, and it was just beautiful. And when he came up and they were having to talk about Superman. He was like, I don't wear a cape, everything like that. It would like that. Those scenes were just so great to me, and him knowing that he was an Eternal, and him telling him, "No, go. I want you to help them. I want you to no, please go." Like they did every scene. There was no wasted motion in any of the scenes.
No.
Everything meant something. It was there for a purpose. It wasn't just, oh yeah, let's just do whatever. And everything was there.
Yeah, and that's the hallmark of Chloe Zhao's direction. Like that is what she does. And that's why I was just so like stunned that they were able to get Chloe Zhao to direct this movie like fresh off of winning an Oscar for Nomadland not even a year or two ago. Like it's like yeah, and I did some more reading after I saw the movie about Chloe Zhao, and Chloe Zhao wanted this project. She wanted Eternals because she had read Eternals, and it was the thing that kind of stood out to her to be able to do, you know. And yeah, I mean, I hope that there's a sequel down the road to Eternals, or that these guys are going to be in multiple movies going forward, because I want to see more of them.
Well, we will, because what happened later was like, wait, what?
Yes.
You know.
And she's already stated that, hey, you know, if you guys want me to come back, I will definitely come back. So that will be interesting to see where we go from here.
Yeah. Now let's talk about the two. There's a mid-credit scene. There's a mid-credit scene and an after-credit scene. Now the mid-credit scene was okay to me. Yeah. That one I understand where they were going with. We get, who is it? It's Sprite. No. Not Sprite. Excuse me. Druig. And I keep forgetting the character's name.
Nakari.
Yes. Who also,
by the way, is a better Flash than Ezra Miller ever will be.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. They definitely thumb their nose at DC a little bit, because look at even their suits.
Yes,
she wore red. She's a speedster.
Yes.
The kind of brooding one was wearing black. If you look, Cersei, who's Will and everything, she was wearing Green Lantern. There were definitely nods there, which I appreciated and I dug it. But in this scene, we're getting them on the ship, and they're going through space to look for other Eternals. And we all of a sudden see this kind of shimmering light. And we see someone walk through it, and is it Pip?
Yes, Pip the Troll.
Yeah, Pip the Troll, drunk, talking shit, and announcing someone who comes through. And I'm waiting to see who it is, because obviously you don't know, you never know who it was. And it's Star Fox, aka Eros. This is Thanos' brother.
Yep,
I believe it was, yes. Defeater of, what do you say, Black Rob? He said no, Black Roger. Which I don't know why that was funny. To me. I honestly don't know why, but that definitely made me laugh. Excuse me. And he talks about how, the others are definitely in danger, and there's trouble coming. And it was Harry Styles, I believe, correct?
Yes, Harry Styles.
Yeah. One Direction, if you know, that I don't really give a shit. I don't give a fuck. I just don't give a fuck. I'm okay with this. I don't know much about Harry Styles. Don't really care, as long as it's something cool. I know the character himself is incredibly problematic for certain powers that he has, and that they changed them throughout the years. And I think they actually put him on trial once because of his powers. He has I think it's like a pheromone power where it's like enticing you, and he slept with a lot of people, but it was kind of under duress because they were influenced by his powers. So was it even consensual?
Right.
Because Balad talks about that. Right. So we got that scene. Okay, cool. Still sitting there, drinking my they didn't have Fuse, so I had to drink Fanta. No. It wasn't Fanta. It was Barks Cream Soda.
Ah, good choice.
Yes, sir. But no popcorn. No popcorn. Not messing with the popcorn anymore, man. The popcorn was messing my stomach. So I ended up getting like some vanilla almonds or something like that. Eating those, popping those with cranberries, something like that. It was very, very good, very high class. And Second scene we get, because we have before he becomes the Black Knight, we have Jon Snow, and he's still at the wall. It's funny. The wall is still in the MCU as well. It's amazing. He's still on watch, and his brother has flown away. There are definitely links to that. I do actually like the two of them on screen together.
Did you notice? Did you also notice that they kind of, obviously they kind of do this whole like wink, wink towards Game of Thrones throughout the entire movie. Like he also talks about how his family has this like problematic legacy as well. It's just hilarious.
There's a lot of. They should have had a third Game of Thrones alum in there because it would have been even funnier.
Yes.
So we get Dane. Can I remember his damn name?
Dane, I think is
Dane. Who is Cersei's boyfriend? There's a great nod in this final scene to his Avengers with the jacket he's wearing, like a brown leather jacket. If you know that era of the Avengers, when they all wear brown leather, why are you in a brown leather jacket, baby? What you doing with the pleather, baby? What's going on with the pleather? But I loved it, and I was sitting there, and I was like, oh my god! When they had that scene, I was literally on the edge of my seat in that scene because I was waiting for him to, because there's a mention of Excalibur. When Sprite says, "Oh, is that the black? Excuse me, is that the Ebony Blade?" And she goes, "Oh no, it's Excalibur." And I was like, "Okay, you already gave us before he's Black Knight, but okay, I totally dig that. That was a throwaway, but if you know, you know, what have you." So he opens up the case, and the Ebony Blade is in there, wrapped up in like paper that has like glyphs and talisman such on it. That, and he's going to go into his family's history of being the Black Knight, who was a member of the Avengers. And he's trying to touch, and as you see him like kind of waving his finger over, you see the blade kind of shimmering and following it. Then you hear a voice say, "Do you really want to touch that, Mr. Whitman?" Who do you think that voice was? And we don't get the person, we don't get to see the person, but who do you think that person was?
No, I know who it was.
Who?
My man Mahershala, aka Blade in the MCU.
Folks, I'm gonna just say this out loud for real. Some motherfuckers always want to ice skate uphill.
The Daywalker.
Okay. Now we all know that, if you know Blade's history, Blade actually comes from London. That's actually where I don't mind the fact that they changed that in Wesley's movies, because I love those movies, and I'll fight you in the street for the movies, even the third one. I'll fight you in the street for that trilogy, baby. The series, I'll let you go, but that trilogy, even that trilogy, as whatever people say, if it's on, I'm watching it because it's Blade, because it's Wesley Snipes, and we were not getting these characters. So him being in England is not an accident. It's not an accident. If that's him, who do I think it is? Oh man, it's getting kind of warm in here, bro. I'm gonna have to take this. I'm gonna have to take this hoodie off. I'm gonna have to take this hoodie off. I'm gonna have to take this. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. That's I know it's that time of year, but it's a little warm, baby.
Yes, sir.
Still available at Hot Topic. I might have to buy another one. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yes, sir.
Sir, I openly said out loud in the theater, and there was a young lady who was sitting maybe like to my left in the bottom, because I always sit in like the last row. But not because of segregation, just because I like to. And I was sitting there, and I was on the edge of my seat, and I was like, oh my, because I wanted him to touch the blade. I wanted to see what was going to happen. I want to know if he was going to actually touch the blade. And when I heard his voice, I said, oh shit. And I stood up, and I was like, you can still, if you could possibly see it, still like the goosebumps. The fact of him That's his first, and similar to comics, how a character will make an appearance in a comic and it'll be their first actual in there, but it's not their first quote unquote appearance. They did that a lot with Wolverine.
Mm-hmm.
Wolverine's first appearance, and other characters. The fact that he is there on set,
and
he had one line. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
You can't tell me nothing. I am so incredibly excited, so incredibly happy, so everything. The fact of us being one step closer to Blade.
Yep.
And when he said, "Do you really think you want to touch that? Do you really want to touch it?" I was like, I said, "Shit, man, yeah." And the way he turned around, I was like, "Yeah, I'm so."
Yeah.
That was, I think,
it's just an awesome.
Yeah.
Like I love the fact that we still don't get to see him yet, right? But when you're sitting there and you're watching that scene, his audio is so expertly tuned for that scene. It's almost like it's louder than the rest of the scene. It's crazy when you hear it.
Because the scene is so quiet.
Yes.
It's so quiet, but it's tense because of him and that blade.
Yes.
To create tension between yourself and an inanimate object, a cursed inanimate object, though. And that type of tension. And then for it to break by someone who can cause even more tension in the right circumstance. And if he gets a hold of the ebony blade, what he can do with it against all the vamps, the familiars, that's the darker side. So again, that was, I'm trying to think of another one, but that's my favorite MCU after credit scene out of all over 22 movies, over 10 years, all these movies. This has been my favorite. That's my favorite. I can't even think of what my second favorite is because this one is outshining them all. I'm gonna be honest with you.
All right.
The only way they could have made it better is if Blade had been, is if Wesley Snipes, because I'm still thinking about Wesley Snipes as Blade, is if Wesley Snipes had came in with like a package and said message for Whitman. That's the only way it could have been funny. That's the only way it could have been better.
Right, exactly.
It was so tongue in cheek, but it was so great, and to do it in that and I know that people and there's weren't as hyped, and that's fine, that's cool, it's whatever. I was hyped. So when certain podcasters are entitled as shit talking about we need to see, shut up. And I don't even want to listen to your podcast to see what your thoughts were on that after credit scene. I don't care. I don't care. I'm done. The next thing that they really should, aside, I mean, they're coming out with Echo. Then I think the next one they should really go with is Red Wolf. I've said this before. Red Wolf should be their next thing that they're going with. Open up the doors. These characters, Alpha Flight.
Oh my god!
But that would have to be more into mutants. But bring an Alpha Flight.
Let me tell you something.
Vindicator.
If they made an Alpha Flight movie, my head would explode.
Done.
My head would explode, dude.
Do Alpha Flight before you do X-Men.
I literally read X-Men and Alpha Flight throughout junior high and high school. Literally, dude.
Discovering them was like, wait, what is this team of? I think I read them before I read X-Men. I'll be honest with you. They were more interesting to me because they had an indigenous character. They had, it was just something, and to know that they still had a link to James Hewlett. His mom gonna call him James. I'm gonna call him James. Y'all can call him Logan. Just to do that, that would, as a Marvel, as a Disney Plus series of the MCU extended.
What, Alpha Flight?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that would
run that.
That would smack in a way that people just aren't even ready for.
And then I mean, some point, Widows.
Yeah.
Bring Sam Ryder in on Widows speaking role. She is beyond dope.
Yeah.
Bet money. Because a lot of us were there in that theater looking for her.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not play games. She's awesome, and yeah. So, what do you give Eternals out of 5?
Out of 5, I would probably give it 4.25.
Okay.
I think the only place I really kind of have to take points off on it is, I think the only problem I really had with the movie is there's somewhat of a pacing issue at the beginning. It's not much. It's not much. I mean, I've seen much more egregious pacing issues in other films, but
yeah.
I think the pacing is a bit off, just a bit off. It's not that big of a deal, but it's a bit off, and I have to take off for that.
All right. I out of 5 plates because I'm hungry. I'm gonna give it. I would say 4.25. Yeah, the pacing was a bit issue, and it felt. You know what it felt like to me? It felt like Highlander, where you go to the flashbacks.
Yeah.
And that's not a bad thing. That's not, but it was the pacing. Yeah, the pacing does throw it off, but it felt like that Highlander where he'll go and have a memory of something, and it'll be something that will be consequential or that's important to the scene they're about to go to, or that they just came from, which is okay because you do need that backstory, and they have 7,000 years of backstories.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
What I mean? Like, how many movies can they make of all their adventures when they were together?
Exactly.
You know, so definitely, but that last after credit scene.
Yeah.
There's a reason why I haven't worn this shirt in about a year and change.
Yeah.
I don't wear it a lot, unfortunately, because I don't want to ruin it either. I don't want to mess it up. So I was like, so I know what I'm going to be wearing Saturday. Basically, when I get home from work, I'm changing my shirt and I'm running right into it. Yes, and Blade has been getting a lot of resurgence, obviously, because of his upcoming movie, but also in the comics, he has been getting a resurgence. Oh, also, another shout out. I don't know if people realize this or not. If you're a comic book fan, the Celestial that dies, that is killed, ends up becoming the home of the Avengers in the future. In the series that they're in now, that's actually where they're at. They're actually inside. They're inside Tiamat.
Wow.
They're actually inside him, like in his head is their headquarters. So when they did that, because when I started seeing where they were at, I was like, they're not going to do what I think they're going to do, are they? And when they did it, I was like, you just sped up so much of everything, and also you just gave a new team their new possible home, or a huge Easter egg for people who are reading the newest Avengers series now. And I saw it, and I was like, wait, hold on a second. And I saw it, and I was like, okay, cool. That's actually yeah. I'm not sure if it's actually Tiamat in the comics, but there's a Celestial that dies, and they live in their headquarters is the Celestial's head. Okay. Like they repower him and everything. The Celestial isn't alive, but still the power that flows to him, they use to power their base, which is his head.
Okay.
So that's kind of funny. So,
I want to say something else about Eternals to me that is impressive, right? I want to say that this is probably the second best ensemble cast next to Avengers in the MCU. And Eternals is just so balanced. Like, nobody outshines anybody else in this film. Yeah. Like, everything is exactly the way it should be. And I mean, it's great. Listen, it's great seeing Angelina Jolie. It's great seeing Salma Hayek finally get some shine in the MCU. It's great seeing Brian Tyree Henry. But even the other people, even the smaller roles like Makari, and I know Lauren Ridloff, and that's her name, the actress. I know her from The Walking Dead, which she kills it on every time that she's on The Walking Dead. Richard Madden from Game of Thrones
and The Bodyguard.
And Bodyguard, yeah,
on a Netflix. Check that out.
Yeah. It's just really well cast, like really well cast, and everybody kind of plays off of each other the way they should. And let me give a shout out to the guy who plays Gilgamesh in this film.
Yes, my man.
He is from
Train to Busan. My man is all beef.
He is amazing in this movie. He was amazing in Train to Busan, but he's also amazing in this film.
Dude, can we keep him alive in a movie?
Oh my God, yes.
I need him. Can I get him and Wong just going back and forth talking? Yo, dude. My man's name is. I'm trying to remember his name. Is it Bill? Oh, damn. Because the minute I saw him, I was like when the trails were happening, I was like, wait, is that my man from Train to Busan? Because he has a very distinctive look. Like he's like he's beefcake, like he's beef. Like he's what happens when you feed a cow to another cow, and then that cow to another, and then you feed a cow a burger. He is beef upon beef. My man doesn't own a gym; he lifts the gym itself.
Yes.
My man is just beefcake on beefcake.
Yes,
beef so dumpling is his name.
Good.
Trying to remember my man's name. Really want to look it up. Because
it might have been Don Lee in this film.
That's not his
ethnic name. His ethnic name is Ma Dong Seok.
He gave, and you expect to see him because he's punching and everything like that, but he has all of this, so this huge tender side. And he was the one that was cooking, and he was like, "Oh yeah, funny, big baby, yeah, funny." When doing stuff, I was like, "Yo!" But then I started feeling, I was like, "If he's the one that dies, I'm gonna be so pissed."
Yeah,
so pissed. But I love seeing him again. Seeing him, Tony Leung.
Oh yeah,
these are Get into these characters. Get into these actors. Train to Busan, you've probably seen already. Also, my man from Squid Games is in Train to Busan. Plays a father. Get into these movies that there are subtitles. A lot of times you can find it where it's dubbed. If you need to watch that, that's fine. What have you? But yeah, check these movies out. These actors are ridiculous. Tony Leung is a legend. He's an icon.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he's just part of what makes Shang-Chi just amazing. That's what I was saying. Like when the movie came out, I was like, this movie is going to be like an ensemble piece. It's going to be like The Big Chill, where everybody plays off of everybody wonderfully. There's this, and you figure they have to because they were together for thousands of years, and thousands of years before that, so they know each other like that, and they always have that chemistry that they come back to. So yeah, you had that ensemble piece that worked well. Where in Avengers, you had certain characters, you had the Holy Trinity that kind of stuck out. Those were the main ones. But here, my man was talking about, he thought he was a vampire and he almost tried to stake him. And he's a Bollywood actor. Sprite, who is this thousands of year old person who's trapped in this little girl's body, who goes into bars and makes an illusion that she's an older woman. Thena, who gets mad if you call her Athena. There's no A. Things like that. They all played, and they all had their own amazing stories that were crafted that you may not see all of it now, but you might see it at another time. There may be another project where we'll get to see more of that. So I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
On that note, sir.
Yes, sir.
It's about that time to roll out.
It is. Like the Autobots.
That's it. Damn, it hurt my back doing it. I'm not even lying. My back. I broke my back. You broke your back. Where'd you break your back? On a spinal. I don't know. What, Mike? Mike Tyson saying I broke my back, and he's standing there like I broke my back. He's like, he said, I don't know, spinal. You can't just say words, Mike. You can't. You got to give me some, baby. You can't just say words like that, Mike. You can't just say words. Yeah. So on that note, folks, we will be back next week talking about, I don't know, we're gonna talk about. We'll let y'all know what we'll be talking about.
Yeah.
And then we'll be taking a break for December. We'll be taking a break. Doing things of whatever ilk is out there.
Doing things of ilk.
Doing things of nefarious ilk, sir. Just be recharging, taking in whatever's out there. Possibly having some ramen, sir.
Ramen.
Melba's.
The ramen noodle. Yes.
Eggnog waffles and fried chicken. It's ridiculous. It's the most Negro thing I think I've ever said in my life. Absurd, sir. The only thing that makes it more is that I'll get the catfish bites. Diabolical. Diabolical. Yes. But for the next 2 weeks or so, we'll be coming at you. We'll actually probably start talking about Hawkeye, since it'll be out that week, and then what have you. Also, if you want, check me out, Hungry Bleak Podcast, which is on Twitch, on YouTube, and wherever you get your audio podcast from. Same way that you would get them from here. Yesterday I had Lex LeBron on talk about cosplay and art. Amazing. The week before that I had M Shy S Dash. Again, probably the most nervous I've been on the show and the most erratic show I've ever done. And I loved every second of it. No issue with that at all. She was incredible. And just like that, I'll be taking a break as well during December from everything, I believe. You will not see my face at all. Not that you see it online now anyway, because I don't show my face on social media. The only place you can see my face is if you're watching here. That's it. But on that note, I'm going to probably go order a hoodie. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro.
Because I saw a hoodie that I like. I bought it in the wrong size though, so I'm going to give it to somebody and I'm going to order a new one because I want that hoodie so bad. And that's it. Sir, you have any final words for the peoples?
For the peoples.
If you wills, baby. If you wills, for the peoples, baby. You wearing that fur coat in Atlanta, baby. You do.
Go see Eternals.
Yes, go see Eternals.
Watch Hawkeye.
Stay for the after credit scenes. Just even though we told you, hopefully we spoiled the movie for you anyway. Whatever. But go watch that last scene. The second one, the first one, yeah, all right, whatever. That second one is the one that really propels the story forward. I feel not the story, but the universe.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And what we'll get because you're seeing, because in that scene there are two swordsmen.
Absolutely.
We're great. Myself, look, just do the best you can with what you got because it's all that you get. And I noticed that I keep looking up at the light and not at the camera, which, whatever.
It's cool.
It's a new light. I like it. I don't care. I had to buy a new light because the other one just wasn't working out. It wasn't doing what it do, baby.
Yeah.
Do the best you can with what you got, folks, because it's all that you got. So enjoy the rest of the day. Please remember to like, subscribe, share, comment, enjoy this show and all of our past shows as well. Whether it's on YouTube, whether it's on Twitch, even though you stay on there for about 2 weeks on Twitch, then it deletes off. Or you listen to the audio download. Let us know. Give us a review. Let us know how we're doing. Review us. Give us 1 star, 5 star, whatever. Let us know. We love interacting with y'all. Okay.
Send food.
Yes, always. By default, send food. We shouldn't even have to tell you that. Just send food.
Yeah, exactly.
By default, send food. And t-shirts. Yes. Food and t-shirts. I take a strong medium t-shirt. Strong in the medium shirt. Look, this is one of the best, and I'm not saying this just because I'm part of this. I'm saying this because this is a shoot. This is one of the best, most informative, and funny geek culture podcasts, fandom podcasts out there. Most of them are dry or entitled or boring as hell. Oh God! And I've actually stopped listening to a lot of them because I just don't care. They're only I think 2 that I listen to now. But Look, we're out here. We're doing it every Saturday. We love y'all. We come at y'all. We've even done pre-recorded episodes, so we can still give y'all something out there. Thank you so very much for being a part of this and hanging with us and listening to us, watching us, rooting for us, sharing us, whatever you do. We appreciate it. Seriously, thank you so very much.
Absolutely.
All right. So y'all enjoy the rest of your day. Eat something tasty. Send that goddamn food. Make my jaws tight, sir. Send the food, sir. This is here. Send the food, sir. Send the food, sir.
My good man.
Send the food. Send the food, Jameson. Yeah, send it to Thurgood and Thermopolis. That's is his name. Thurgood. I don't know what his face is. Thurgood Thermopolis. Taste this. Eat this microphone, sir. This is an egregious manner, sir. I will be eating this crispy yardbird, sir. The crispiest of yardbirds. Folks, it never ends. You enjoy the rest of your day. Awkward dancing is going to happen in a few seconds. Don't worry about it. Just let it happen and just let it wash over you like a warm bath, folks. All right, have a good one. Peace.